Zach Werenski, one of the bright young stars for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and now a star for the Jackets for at least 3 more years after signing his new deal this week worth $15 million, AAV of $5 million. We are so excited to have Zach join us right now. Zach, first things first, congratulations on the new deal, but you've become kind of the first of these RFAs that in the summer of the RFA we've been talking about all year or all summer long. So what has this whole experience been like for you, and have you been able to enjoy summer with all this hanging over your head?
Yeah, it was got to hang out with some friends, go on some vacations. But once it got closer to camp time, I think once September hit, it started to get a little bit weird not having a contract. I didn't hear too much leading up to it, and then one day it all kind of came together, which was yesterday, and I ended up signing it and getting down to Columbus. So I'm happy it's over with, but until you go through it, you don't really know what it's like.
Yeah, it's a trying time and a lot on your plate, and you settled it on a 3-year deal. How flexible were you? Why 3 years? I'm sure you guys talked about several different term lengths. What was it about 3 years that made sense for you in the end?
Yeah, I just thought it was for me, it was a good number and a good amount of years. It gives, me some flexibility. It gives the team some flexibility. I love it here in Columbus, and with where the cap's going, hopefully, and some other things that play into it, I thought 3 years worked out well. We talked about a little bit of everything, 3, 5, 8, but we settled on 3 years. Both sides did, and we're both really happy with this deal, so it worked out well.
When you sign something, a piece of paper that says that you're going to make $15 million over the next 3 years, I'm sure you always dreamed about this as a kid growing up in Michigan and obviously throughout the past 3 years as well. But was it a bit surreal to finally put pen to paper with something like that?
Yeah, for sure. I think you kind of hear about it when you're going through it, but until you actually sign it, it's pretty unbelievable. It's something you work for a long time. And like I said, I'm really happy with this, and just excited to get the year going now.
Now, Zach, I'm sure there was some external noise going on, whether it's players or fans or family members or friends with thoughts about what you're doing this summer. But also your coach chimed in a little bit, expressing his desire that you'd be there at camp. Now, it wasn't personal what he was suggesting, but did you hear some of that noise from a variety of parties as you're going through this?
Yeah, I think everyone kind of has their own opinion on things, and everyone has their own viewpoint on it. But I talked to Torts quite a bit this summer, and me and him were on the same page. And going through it, it's definitely different. It's a business. It's the business side of the game that not many people get to see. I don't think he meant any harm in his comments. I think I think I understood what he meant by it. And everyone, like I said, has their own opinion. And for me, it was just staying focused, trying to become a better hockey player this summer, and letting that part of the game take care of itself with the contract. And I'm really happy it's over with now.
I know you have really good relationships not only with your teammates but with a lot of other young players around the NHL. How much do you talk to other guys about the situation you're in, whether it's another current RFA or maybe a little bit older player that's already been through something like this? Was there anyone that you connected with and talked to a lot through this situation?
Yeah, I talked to a few guys. I talked to McAvoy. I talked to Kachuk. I talked to Josh Anderson, who went through this a couple years ago. And, the main thing is everyone kind of has their own thing going on with their own teams in different situations. And some guys went long-term, some went short-term. So it's one of those things where you can't really get into anyone else's business, or no one can really tell you what to do. But it's nice just to have those guys to ask questions on and kind of see where they're at and stuff like that. So with this summer going on with how many RFAs there were, I think that made it a little bit easier with me, just not worrying about being one of those last guys to sign, because everyone was going through it. So it made it a little bit easier for me.
So now that you have signed, you can turn your attention back to hockey, because it must have been hard trying to get better this summer, trying to get in shape, work on your game, continue to work on your craft, but also with this looming over your head. Do you feel a bit of a weight lifted, not just because of the financial terms of the contract, but just the fact that you now can go back to focusing just on hockey?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think when that's going on, you're in the gym working hard, you're on the ice skating, and then you get home, you don't hear anything. And early on, you don't really worry about it too much, but the more the summer goes on and the closer it gets to camp, you start to kind of wonder what's going to happen. Obviously, every player wants to be there at the start of camp with their teammates working towards that common goal. So it's one of those things where once September hit, I kind of started to think about it a little bit more. But yeah, like I said, I'm just really relieved to get this over with, and I'm really happy with it.
We are just a few days away now from the start of your guys' camp, and I've heard from a few other people that a John Tortorella camp is mighty, mighty grueling. Can you tell us a little bit more?
I've been through one, Zach. I remember a long time ago.
What do you do, and what's the hardest part of a Torts camp?
It's not fun by any means. Right when I signed the contract, it's the first thing I thought of was a 2-mile run on Thursday. So we started off with a run, then we did some skate tests, and the whole time it's just battle drills and scrimmages. But it's a lot of fun because you're going through it together as a team, and you feel really, after it's all done, you feel really rewarded and ready for the season. And it's a tough camp, and it's not too fun, but I think it makes us a better hockey team, and we're all going through it together. So that's always good.
Before we let you go, I do want to ask you just about the upcoming season, because a lot of people have already written you guys off. The puck hasn't even dropped on preseason hockey yet, but of course with so many big UFAs deciding to leave Columbus and go elsewhere, on paper, a lot of people are counting you out already. What is it about your current team that makes you believe that you guys could make it back to the playoffs?
Yeah, I think we have a really good core. We didn't lose anyone on the back end. We have 2 goalies that are going to battle for a #1 job, which I think is really good. And then up front, we have some spots open, mixed in with a lot of core guys that have a lot of experience and a lot of skills. So, those guys had their right to go play wherever they wanted. And those guys are great guys and awesome teammates and awesome players. But this is our group now of guys that want to be here, and we're excited to go out there and show everyone what we can do.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for the time, Zach. Congratulations on the new deal.
Enjoy that run.
Oh, man.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it.